Welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. Jimmy Gretzinger is off this week doing a little hunting for himself, but we've got a brand new show for you anyways. I am out here on the St. Clair River right now near Algonac. We're chasing after some sturgeon tonight, so if we do well, we'll show you how that went on this week's show. We've also got a bow hunt from northern Michigan, some river fishing for salmon, and we're going to stop in and talk with a young hunter. This young man was able to take a beautiful albino white-tailed deer during archery season. We'll hear the whole story. Lots of fun stuff on this week's show, so you stay tuned. I'm Jenny Olson, and it's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan Out of Doors. Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's the love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By Meijer, a destination for hunting, fishing, and camping. From bug spray and tents to GPS and gas, Meijer has nearly everything you need to take on nature and get you there. Meijer. By G5 Outdoors, makers of the Quest and Prime bows. Manufactured and designed in Memphis, Michigan, G5 offers archery bows, broadheads, and accessories. On the web at g5outdoors.com. By Country Smokehouse, offering a variety of meat products. Country Smokehouse is located 3 miles south of I-69 on M53, just south of Imlay City. Country Smokehouse is a meat processor, a butcher, and a destination for sportsmen.
When the leaves start turning and we get in our first few hunts of the year, my thoughts always turn to our annual bow camp in Crawford County. This is the place that I grew up going to for both trout on the fly and deer. The cabin owned by Greg and Mary Young is nestled in the woods on the banks of the famed DuSable River. You couldn't ask for a more picturesque place to sit on the porch and eat a bowl of venison stew.
Well, we got the cabin, and what did we get it? 1984, and we just decided we just didn't get together and hunt very much. And so we thought, well, what the heck, let's try, because the deer up here aren't worth hunting for trophies. You're not going to get a trophy. But the camaraderie is what we come for. We've got guys here that are hunting, looking for a buck, and we got 2 guys here this week that killed a 146 or 148 at home. And then you get one here that we got all excited. Somebody saw a spike this morning. So, oh my gosh, you saw a buck. So that's what we're doing. I mean, the lies are bigger than the bucks. The stories get better every year. The shots are farther. The bucks are bigger. Even though we have the 3 or 4 racks that we got up on the wall, they still somehow get bigger every year. And I don't know how that happens, but that's what bow camp is about. Matter of fact, we thought we should call it food camp instead of bow camp, because basically we come up, eat, sleep, and tell lies, and I'm sure there are hundreds of camps like that around the state of Michigan, and every one of them has their own story to tell, and that's what makes it so neat. Coming up with my boys and Gabe, you've been here since '84 also, so just that is just really cool.
Although some guys head to camp to get away from the wife or family, this group is family. From actual brothers, uncles, and in-laws to those friends who might as well be family, the chance to set stands, hunt, and track deer together is the tie that binds. The vast woods of northern Michigan provide the place to meet each year. State lands surrounding the camp provide endless places to explore and hunt for the few deer that inhabit these cedar swamps. This isn't the Lower Peninsula when it comes to hunting. Crawford County has almost no agriculture and the deer are few and far between. The ones that are around have been pursued heavily and are as wary as any in the state. A glimpse of a spike from the stand is just the kind of story that gets shared after the hunts. The first morning in camp found one successful hunter. Lonnie Young had connected with one of the small Northwoods deer found in these parts, and while southern Michigan does may dress well over 100 pounds, it's not uncommon for the scales only to read 80 or 90 pounds for a mature doe up here. But nonetheless, it was a track job. This is what we look forward to each year. Tracking deer with a group and sharing the hunt is what it's all about.
There's the deer right there.
One thing that we have up here that we don't have down home is the big woods. And to be honest, we're terrible big woods hunters. I mean, give me a fence row with a cornfield and I'm a lot better off. I know where the wind's gonna blow. The wind switches up here, it hits trees, and anybody who's hunted in northern Michigan or the UP would understand what I'm saying with that. The deer are, I think they're tougher here than they are at home. I think anybody that gets one with a bow and arrow, like for example, last night I had a deer coming in at 30 yards and the wind was coming from the deer to me. I don't know what happened. It turned around and took off. I had no chance. And that's what makes the challenge. If somebody does finally get one, they're not big, but they're still fun. And it's just, but again, that's not why we're here. We're not here for deer. If we wanted deer, we stay home and try to hunt them there, you know, which sometimes we get lucky down there. But here it's all about, you know, dropping an apple pie and somebody eating it off the porch, or, you know, I mean, this is stories that have happened in the past. There's a million of them.
After a breakfast of homemade Canadian bacon and eggs, it was time for a little shooting with the recurves and longbows. Although most guys hunt with compounds, we like to bring the old stick and string up for some fun during the middle of the day. Made-up games keep the shooting interesting, as arrows often go missing under the dying ferns.
Deer in the head, and then to win, the person who gets the deer in the other people have to keep shooting at the head until you hit it. Then you have to hit one of the feet to win the game. That was yours. As I draw back, I got one in there. So
He's gonna break all the ones below it.
you know what the bad thing is? I'm gonna be the one that shoots it to knock it down. Oh, you're trying.
I hit the woods for 3 straight days with Chris Smith of Morris, but as often the case with the camera, the deer didn't cooperate. So we tried a tactic that is almost exclusively a northern Michigan option. We float hunted through the Mason tract of the South Branch to see if we couldn't get a crack at a deer from the river. We didn't end up releasing any arrows, but the scenery was well worth it.
Big doe on the left.
As always, bow camp did not disappoint. The leaves were turning, the nights were cold, the coffee was hot, and the memories, well, we just added a bunch more. The Northwoods may not always offer the best of hunting, but as any hunter knows, that's never the way we measure success. The chance to gather up north and share a track job, or maybe just some good meals with great friends, is reason enough to look forward to next year.
Well, in this next segment, we're out here on Tom Loy's big fish boat. We've been out here many times with Tom before, but we are out here for a special occasion. Tonight, we're not only chasing after some of those big mystical sturgeon, we're honoring a man that we just lost. A couple of us on the boat here had a good friend and relative that we lost recently, so we're out here honoring him, and hopefully we'll be into some big fish. Hey, guys?
We're gonna try really hard.
All right.
Our sturgeon fishing trip began at Captain Tom Loy's house in Algonac. Tom lives on one of the canals that runs into the St. Clair River, which makes for a pretty short trip out to the sturgeon grounds.
Everything is ready. Boat's warming up.
Cool. All right, better get to it.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
Joining us for tonight's adventure were Jim Felgenauer, president of the local Sturgeon for Tomorrow chapter, first mate Caleb Schreck, my boyfriend Matt Silik, and his good family friends Ross Chapman and Jerry Tomkowiak. We've had this trip on the calendar for a couple of months now and have been looking forward to getting out here with some good friends for a fun night of fishing. Then a heartbreaking tragedy hit and took one of our fishing buddies from us. We decided to treat tonight's trip as a tribute to him and hopefully catch a couple of sturgeon in his honor. Captain Tom said that shouldn't be a problem.
Tom, you've been out doing a lot of sturgeon fishing already this year, hey?
We've been out several times. We were doing reasonably well early on, then it kind of slowed down. Now it's picking up again. Friday night we got one, bad weather. Night before that we got three. Got a 68-incher recently, about 100 pounds. Fun stuff. Everybody had a great time. We should do well tonight.
All right, awesome. Got the honey hole all picked out?
Yes, we do, as a matter of fact. Only it's not much of a secret. People see us there all the time, so. But we'll be upriver by near Harson's Island.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool. What's the depth you're looking for?
35, 36, 37 works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been one of my better spots, so. In the again, 36, 37 range.
As we got situated out here, Matt explained how this whole trip today came to be and how being out here is all a little bittersweet in the absence of a dear friend.
Well, we're out here, good friend of ours, Jerry, he's coming out he's taking place, unfortunately, a good friend of ours that bid. We had a fundraiser this past year, and his wife bid on this trip, and it was for her husband, who was Jerry's brother, and unfortunately, he didn't make it. He passed away 2 weeks ago on us, so we brought Jerry out instead, in Cork's honor.
We were hoping to do Cork proud out here tonight and boat some sturgeon. Tom and Caleb were getting all the lines rigged up.
I've got a this is a 10-ounce weight. We're going to throw it out here quite a few feet. It's on a slip sinker. Okay. We'll put a gob of minnows, probably 4 or 5 minnows on the hook. Then we'll throw it out there and let it set. Then we'll catch, hopefully, sturgeon. But we catch catfish and sheephead and the occasional smallmouth.
Well, it wasn't even dark yet, and Tom's bait did the trick. We had a hit, and Jerry was up first to do the honors of bringing it in.
What do we got, Jim?
No, we got some sort of small fish on. First fish of the night, though. Now, did that come with on the rod with the worm?
A mini sturgeon.
What?
All right. All right.
What? It's the world's smallest sturgeon.
Okay. We're just going to do it. We're going to do it easy here.
Wow.
My first sturgeon.
These are,
Unbelievable.
Jimmy can tell us better, but the scoots are razor sharp
Oh, wow.
along the side.
Pretty. That is
And they
so
lose
cool.
those when they get older?
They dull down. Jimmy, you can tell us better than me.
That's so cool.
The scoots, these are called scoots.
Oh, okay.
Jimmy, explain, go ahead.
Well, those are, on the smaller fish, they're very pronounced. It's actually a defense mechanism, and that makes these fish very unappetizing for anything bigger until they grow to such a size that nothing else in the system can eat them.
How old do you think this one is?
That fish is less than 10 years old.
Wow.
27.
27?
Yep.
Wow. Huh. That is really cool.
Here we go.
He's gone.
Nice job.
First one.
Start out
Wonderful.
small, right?
Yeah.
On a minnow, no less.
Ross, what do you think of all that?
Very cool. I've never seen a fish like that before, so it's very interesting.
Cool.
Nice to see the smaller fish. We got a good breeding population here. The largest self-sustaining population of sturgeon in the Great Lakes. And that fish, interestingly enough, might live to be another 80 years, which means somebody's grandson or granddaughter can catch that same fish. When it's going to be close to 100 pounds, that fish will grow to be huge over the years.
That's pretty cool to think of it that way.
Oh, it's great. We love it.
As the sun faded on a beautiful evening, the guys made a toast to our lost friend and fishing buddy with a sip of his favorite beverage.
Clark, this is for you. Love you, man.
Here's to you, man.
Gonna miss you.
Jerry, tell me a little bit about your brother. And you guys were hunting buddies lifelong, right?
Lifelong, but when he was working all those years and 60, 70, 80 hours a week, we didn't get to do much. And now, after he stopped working, we made up for lost time. We done a lot of hunting and fishing and done some great walleye fishing. I was with him and called in his first 2 tom turkeys for him. I was with him when he got his first white-tailed deer and his second white-tailed deer and his third white-tailed deer. It's just sad that he had to go so early in life, but we did have some good years together. We made some good memories.
Matt also spent a lot of time in the outdoors with Uncle Cork, and he was up for our next fish of the night. This one looked like it was a little bigger.
Yeah, look at that rod tip.
Is it close?
He was for a second.
Oh boy.
Saw him jump out there. We got a skilled fisherman on the rod, so we're gonna get this one in. We're optimistic. Always optimistic.
Oh. All right, let him run.
Tom, got any tips for Matt while he's bringing in his first sturgeon?
Yeah, Matt's a big guy. He knows how to do this.
What do you mean? They still do that.
Oh, here comes it. Here Woohoo!
Nice.
Look at that.
Yeah!
Woo! Oh my goodness. Look at that.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
Nice job, guys.
Yep.
Nice job.
Right, 2.5.
Cool.
All right. This is Cork's fish.
Yeah.
Beauty. All right, who's putting him back in?
Everybody gonna measure them?
There he goes. Boom.
Good job.
This sturgeon would end up being our last of the evening before we had to call it quits. All in all, we had a great time out here. We were able to get a couple of fish for some sturgeon first-timers tonight and remember our dear friend by doing what he loved to do, spend time in the outdoors with friends, family, and a lot of laughs. Special thanks to Captain Tom Loy for volunteering his time and resources to make this special night happen here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Hi, I'm Jordan Brown, and for our next segment on this week's show, we take a look at an organization aimed at getting more veterans into the sport of fly fishing.
We're out here with Flying Heroes. My name is Eric Wensloff. I'm the founder and president, and we are a West Michigan-based nonprofit organization where we take veterans on free, all-inclusive fly fishing trips. Today we're out on the Pere Marquette. We're fishing the salmon, trout, and the occasional steelhead. We're going to be introducing our participant to basic chuck and duck and indicator egg fishing.
Our veteran on hand today was Matt Vanderbilt, and although he had been fly fishing once before with these guys, he'd never done it on the PM, and never for salmon. But introducing veterans to the sport as well as new bodies of water is part of what this program is all about.
We utilize fly fishing and river fishing as a therapeutic opportunity for our veterans. We take them out on an all-inclusive fly fishing trip. We provide all the tackle, the meals, transportation, lodging if they come from a far distance, at no cost to the veteran. All that we ask is that they can provide a DD-214 showing an honorable discharge, and then they will be enrolled in the program. We shoot for about 18 to 20 trips per season, depending on our budget. This year, this is our third season, we're going to run 18 trips total with the potential of serving over 30 veterans this season. It's a great opportunity to come out to give thanks to the veterans that have served and just maybe share with them a new opportunity, an outlet for them to enjoy the outdoors and pass that on with other relatives and family members
within their close circle.
Hook sets are free, baby. My dad taught me that. Hook sets are free.
You know, obviously being a volunteer for Flying Heroes, I'd love to see people come out and go fishing. With our program, as a veteran that deals with the stresses in everyday life, the importance of outdoor activities to keep them grounded is a fundamental thing that every vet needs to have, whether it's horseback riding or fishing or whatever the case may be. But it's very important to get out and clear your head, clear your soul, and stay grounded in life.
After a few hours and a few close battles, we decided to take a break and get the grill out for a part of the trip that just about everybody enjoys.
Today we are having a program favorite. We're having bacon wrapped pork tenderloin with a side of baked beans and also garlic bread, cheese garlic bread. And for dessert, we're gonna have some nutty bars or Star Crunches.
Now, is this something you do on every trip?
Yeah, for every trip, one of the things we provide is a fresh streamside lunch. We always find a unique place along the river that we could just pull over, take a break, grill up something fresh for our participants, and just kind of reflect on the day and how things are going.
The fishing today had been pretty slow, and although we were still hopeful Matt would land his first salmon via the fly rod, that's not really what today was all about.
The main focus of today's trip is to get Matt, our participating veteran, out, introduce him to the sport of salmon fishing on the fly. It's been a tough day. We've had several hookups. We're still looking to land our first fish. We've chased a few around here and there, trying to land them. But today is about saying thanks, Matt, for your service and instilling within him an opportunity to get out in the outdoors and find a new passion in life.
Well, we never did land a salmon, but it was still a great day on the river. Special thanks to Eric and the crew for continuing to go above and beyond to get more folks involved in the outdoors.
Well, we wrap up this week's show by taking a look at a very unique buck that was recently shot in southern Michigan by an 11-year-old. Now, this albino 12-point has caused quite a bit of stir over the past few weeks, and we'd like to remind hunters that it's completely legal to shoot an albino deer, and it has been since 2008. That being said, we need to make sure as hunters that we support other hunters doing legal hunting activities. There's a lot of anti-groups, a lot of negative groups out there, and we need to make sure that we stick together. All that being said, let's take a look at a great Michigan buck.
For Gavin Dingman of Howell, success in the field isn't anything new. Last year, his father Mick was able to videotape him take this buck with a crossbow behind their house.
Was your heart beating? Yeah, I can't feel under all this clothing though. I was nervous. My hands were starting to sweat.
That success prepared him for this year when he would have a chance at a very unique buck that most hunters will only read about, even rarer than a Boone and Crockett buck.
Well, we were sitting right out there at the corner of the pine trees and we were just waiting, and then we had a big brown 10-point come in right along the swamp, and then I went to stretch because my back started to hurt, and I looked over at the swamp and I'm like, Dad, there's the albino. And he's like, and then he's just like, holy crap. And then we just took our eyes off the 10-point and just waited for that to come in. It did exactly what the 10-point did. Stood there at the edge of the pine trees. Came in, it just stood there at the end of the pine trees for like 30 minutes. And came in, started to go out a little into the brush, and then it came back in. And we got the angle right. And then the 10-point came back around and came right under our stand. And it was bigger than the albino. And it was just looking up at us. And yeah, it was like, I'd say like 30 yards away. And so we used the bottom dot on the crossbow. And then I shot it, and we called our neighbors over. And they helped us look for the arrow and the blood. And we found the blood, and it only ran like 50 yards out into the swamp.
Well, we've been watching it basically all year. It's been around for a couple years. Just started seeing it here at our house this year. The first pictures we got of it were in January, so we've seen it with no antlers. It's been hanging around the same 10-point for quite a while. Basically about May, it started living here almost on a daily basis. Then it would disappear for 3, 4, 5 weeks at a time. it always came back, and we haven't seen it until last night. We hadn't seen it in almost 6.5 weeks. So we were kind of thinking maybe it had already gotten shot. But as luck would have it, the 11-year-old pulled it off again. So,
Congratulations to Gavin on a truly once-in-a-lifetime buck and for inviting us out to see this oddity.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you stay tuned over the next several weeks. All kinds of fun stuff happening here in our great state this time of year. We'll be out with cameras rolling on fishing, hunting, waterfowling, all sorts of different things coming up. You can always check us out a couple of different ways online if you get a chance, on our Facebook page at Michigan Out of Doors TV or on our website at michiganoutofdoorstv.com. Whatever you do, hopefully we'll see you back here next week on your PBS station for Michigan Out of Doors.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Jay's Sporting Goods with locations in Clair and Gaylord. Jay's, serving the Michigan outdoor enthusiast since 1971 with a wide variety of outdoor products. The gear, the knowledge, the tradition of Jay's, on the web at jayssportinggoods.com. By Rosie Brothers. Located in Dryden, Michigan, Rosie Brothers has been serving Michigan for over 40 years. Specializing in outdoor needs, Rosie Brothers features Kubota tractors and equipment for use in farm, home, or commercial needs. On the web at rosiebrosinc.com. By Propane, exceptional energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas energy in homes, farms, and businesses across our great state. Learn more at usemichiganpropane.com. By Meyer, a destination for hunting, fishing, and camping. From bug spray and tents to GPS and gas, Meyer has nearly everything you need to take on nature and get you there. Meyer. Closed captioning is brought to you by Propane, exceptional energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas to outdoor enthusiasts across our great state.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a